Now let me tell you that things are gonna get hot. Hello there, wonderful people. Connor Whitmore here again with another video for you on the Nawtystep channel, and today I'm going to be doing a triple live review of the new tracks from Must Die, Marauda and Akeos. What a mad Friday, you know, three of the biggest producers in bass music at the moment, all releasing originals on the same day. I was always going to live review at least one of these songs, but when I heard news of all three, there wasn't really a way of picking between them, if you get me, so I just thought why not do something I haven't done before on the channel and live review three completely separate tunes in one vid. Prior to listening, the one that interests me most here would have to be the Must Die one. He's been experimenting a bit this year, and I've seen a couple of bits on Twitter saying it's something different again, so yeah, could be good for an initial reaction. Marauda releasing on his own imprint, Malignant Music again. I'm expecting something pretty big and heavy. I don't think he'll venture too far from what we know him for most. And then Akeos on Black Label once more. Also experimented a bit recently, but I expect something more typical of their style here. But yeah, three tunes to get through here, of course. I'm going to be hearing them all for the first time and talking about them as they go on, kind of summarising along the way, and I will talk a bit at the end of each one to round up my thoughts on each individual tune. It should be fun, let's get to it. My god though, it is fucking hot. 33 degrees Celsius today in the UK. For you American folk out there, just gonna pop that on the Fahrenheit converter. 33, 91.4, so it's hot. But first up today, we're going to be listening to Hellburst by Must Die. Here we go. Ooh, okay. Bit of a hardstyle flavour, something like that. Bit of hardstyle, maybe. Oh, okay. Oh, come on. Oh, that was lovely. Oh, yeah, he's going for it. He's actually going for it. Oh, this could be huge, man. Oh, that's sharp. That is fucking sharp. Kind of like a full-on hardcore-y, hard-styly mash. Quite like overblown in a way, but also quite contained. Like, doesn't go over the top, I think. Okay. I mean, some people like that kind of overblown, distorted, muddy kind of feel. Not quite for me, but I appreciate the idea quite a lot. And of course, the style that he's going for, you know, this is another sign that Must Die feels like he can do whatever he wants, which is great, you know, really, really good. And it's fantastic that, you know, NSD have given him that platform to do that and allowed him to do what he wants with his art, which is really good. This is unbelievable. This is just sensational. Oh, so good. Musicality is just on point. Will we get a switch up of sorts? Who knows? Ooh. Another double drop to come. Here we go. Yeah, it's got a weird kind of execution for me that I'm not sure I can completely get on board with at the moment on the first listen. Those twisted bits are sick. I like the atmosphere of it. It's got a kind of big room feel. Okay. Okay. Yeah, heaviness-wise overall, whilst I appreciate the style he's going for, the aesthetic, and it's just him unleashing his approach in a new way, which I think, again, is great, as I mentioned earlier. The execution, the production, I'm just not that massive on the whole overblown, distorted, kind of muddy approach and design. It just doesn't feel fresh enough to me. It just feels contained and kind of, yeah, like it has a lot more sound and kind of flavour to give off, which is just being restricted a bit, if you get me. But, I mean, structurally, really good. It's 5 minutes or so, if I'm not mistaken. Really good hearing longer songs in bass music when so many are so short. Also, I think production-wise across the board, aside from the heaviness, really good and sharp. Just, yeah, fresh in the design there. Musicality-wise, really good as well. Those kind of jumpy melodies and, yeah, sprightly kind of very flavoursome bits of snippets of music that we get there. But, no, the heaviness, of course, is the focal point, and for me, yeah, just does fall short in the production, I'd have to say. Whilst it's a good idea, again, as I touched on before, I like the kind of insistence of it, just one hit after another of that fat bass. The bass itself just didn't quite pull me in, again, because of how it's executed and produced. That overblown appeal, which many will love and get, and really find it not too hard to get into, but for me, yeah, it does kind of get in the way of ultimate enjoyment for me personally. Okay, next up we have Marauda with, I want to say Bathory, it could be Bathory, but I'm going to go with Bathory. Okay, here we go. Warm and kind of surging introduction, which has become quite classic of him recently, I would say. Oh, 4 minutes as well. Quite big for him. Oh! Oh, the snare kind of goes in and out from being quite in the background, not sharp enough, and then very sharp. Sick. You hear what I mean there? That snare just needs a bit more beef and body beneath it. Winding its way back up here in the old midsection. Those little scary shit. That fake out. Not super inventive from him, I have to say, so far, heaviness-wise. Throwing me to an extent. The percussion not quite sharp and bodied enough. I mean, that's sick. But overall here, yeah, I'm not getting a lot of newness from it in terms of his style. Like, it's good, it is good. I'm not hearing it and thinking, oh, this is something boundary pushing from him, I have to say. These bits are fantastic, and he's really kind of mastered and perfected that kind of floating in space kind of appeal in his introductions, outros, and midsections. About 15 seconds of silence to go with it at the end. It's a solid enough tune from him, but it doesn't really, as I touched on before, doesn't really make me think, oh, you know, something very new or particularly different from him. Sounds like a slight carbon copy of, you know, quite a lot of stuff he's put out in the last year or so. Not to say it's completely the same, you know, I think more that it's just his style and he's running with it again, and it's just a kind of variant of that. But nah, for me, there's just a few too many similarities between this and stuff he's done, as I said, in the recent past. One difference I would say, though, is the percussion, which just isn't quite as sharp and impactful and rounded for him as usual. But on the flip side of that, you know, the introduction is again really good, that kind of floating in space appeal, as I mentioned before. I think the fact that he's kind of lengthened it out, you know, even if the heaviness for me is quite samey with regard to what we've got from him before in the recent past, I still think the fact that he's lengthened it out and made a more drawn out, I think, which is good. You know, he's kind of venturing beyond the whole music just sounding good for the live environment and for streaming and whatnot. You know, making short songs to make them more impactful and easier for consumption. But no, he's showing here that he can, you know, draw that out and make his ideas kind of stretch over 3.5, 4 minutes and beyond, hopefully, in the future. I do distinctly remember saying in past reviews of his music that some of his songs are far too short, and maybe he's taken that on board, even though I really like his style, and I think I always will. I think he does it best. The idea for me, not really anything new from him, and the production, not quite as sharp and rounded as before. So, has its moments, but again, for me, similar to the Must Die, the heaviness, somewhat letting it down, I would have to say. Oh, fucking hell, it is hot. Okay, finally here today, we have Akeos with Derma Crush. Here we go.
Is it really that time again?
We're gonna go down one man. Wow, what an intro. This is lovely. The richness of that sound. Such a dark artwork. You would expect something... I mean, it's gonna get darker, but that is so uplifting and bright and beautiful. Their music just courses through your veins. Particularly in the intro. But fuck, getting darker. Here we go. Ooh! Oh! Oh! That is flavor. That is sick. Oh, that is. I'm liking that a lot. Production is so sharp as well. Like all of the tripling and just finding space for all of those sounds and how they're spaced out. The timing of everything. It's just. And this right here just fills you with life. Like it's just so brimming and like quite an emotional tinge to it as well. You know, quite heartfelt in a way. Then it dements and spirals down. Oh! 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 Deeper sounds. Oh, frenetic, lively, mad. I'm liking this a lot. Still got that rhythmy flavour. The contrast and combination of bright stuff here that we're getting in the outro, midsection, intro, in comparison and kind of juxtaposition with that heaviness, how dark it is, and just how it dements in the builds as well. It's just such a fantastic mix and blend and combination of moods and types of production as well. You know, the first is... Not the first, I mean, the intro is just so drawn out and scenic almost, and then that really to the point. I want to call it dubstep, but I mean, it's so kind of wild and frenetic and frantic and off the wall, as I mentioned before, that it kind of goes beyond that, I think. It just has that helter-skelter appeal that kind of elevates it beyond what we know dubstep for, in a way, you know, that future rhythmy kind of influence and sound. It's just, I mean, I'm liking this one a fair bit. It's the exact right length as well for me, I would say, you know, not too long, not too short. Structurally, really good. Sound design and just overall freshness of sound is so on point. Very punchy and clear and clean. You can hear everything, even though so much is going on. The distinction between all the sounds and the transitioning as well, really, really good. I mean, with this one, I feel like I could go on and on, just talking about stuff I really enjoy about it. I could have a different view of it when I hear it on my headphones, as opposed to my speakers here. But no, so far that's left quite an impression. A few months ago I would have said to you, you know, Akeos, they are growing to become one of my favourite acts in bass music at the moment, but you know, on the back of songs like that, I can't help but say or think that they are right up there for me at the moment, you know, top few. But yeah, there we have it. That was good fun, wasn't it? A bumper live review covering the new tunes from Must Die, Marauda and Akeos. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching. What did you guys make of these tunes? Which of the three did you enjoy most? Which ones did you not enjoy so much? Let me know all of your views, thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed the video, then be sure to give it a big old thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell along the way so you can be notified whenever I upload a new video to the channel, and my social media accounts are linked below. if you want to find them, and I will also link some other live reviews here if you want to find those. But beyond that, keep it naughty. If it's naughty, then you know. And I will see all of you legends in the next one. Peace out.